Hello YouTube, I am Dark Vanguard Ren, and I'm bringing you a Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile this time. I will be redoing my Shadow Paladins later on, but I'm going to be doing this one for now. So, for now, I'm just going to start. So, I am running an Ancient Gear deck. This is my personal profile, so if you see any changes that I should make, please let me know in the comments, and I will try to make them if possible. So for starters, I run 3 copies of, sorry about the lighting, 3 copies of Ancient Gear Golem. I'll pick one of the cards up to show you. Here he is. If you can read his effect, yeah, you can read his effect, I can see it in there. There's his effect. I'm not going to bother reading them because I want to keep this video as short as possible. So, yeah. Yeah, he's pretty much a, well, I'm just going to summarize it. Piercer, and opponent cannot activate spells or traps until the end of the damage step. Level 8, Earth, Machine, 3000 attack, 3000 defense points, staple of the deck. You should always run 3 of this guy. I don't care what anyone else says, always run 3. You can run any number of whatever else you want, but always run 3 of him. Always. Next is Ancient Gear Gajilatron Dragon. I don't think you can read his ability. If you want to read his ability, do look it up. He basically becomes a piercer of green gadgets on the field. Actually, I can summarize it. Also can't activate spells or traps. The opponent can't activate spells or traps until the end of the damage step. And also, if green gadgets on the field, becomes a piercer. Red gadget, if green, yellow, and red are on the field, the green gadget one gives him piercing ability. Red gadget gives him the ability to inflict 400 points of additional damage. So, and yellow gadget, if he's destroyed, inflict, I believe it was 600. Sorry, it's on my head a little bit. It is, yeah, 600. Moving on now. Level 8, Earth Machine, 3000 attack points, 2000 defense points. So yeah, moving on. Mech Lord Emperor Wassel. This card cannot be normal summoned or set or special summoned except by its own effect, which is if it's a monster is destroyed, you can special summon him from hand. Once per turn, you can target a Synchro monster and equip him with this. I don't think he has the sorry if I'm taking it away from the camera, but I'm trying to read his effect better. Yeah, it doesn't say that you can't equip more than one, but you can check the ruling on that for yourself. I may do that later on, but yeah. Oh, he also gains whatever the attack points are of that monster. So if say you have a Red Dragon Archfiend and you give it Axe of Despair and bring it up to 4000, this thing will take it and make that power its own, so he'll basically be at 65. It goes the same thing with if you do it Stardust, but let's give Stardust 1500 attack points. He'll basically gain Stardust's original attack points and the 1500. So 2500 attack points and defense points. So level 1 Dark Machine effect. You get the idea. Next is the Chimera of the Gajilatrons. Sorry if I keep messing up the name. Send me a video telling me if I did or not, because if the comments, I'll just keep reading it as Gajilatron, so a video would be more helpful. Almost the same effect, except for the dealing damage is increased to, I believe it's 400. Sorry, I'm taking away from the camera. Oh no, it's 500 for inflicting damage. It gains 300 attack points of green gadget. Yellow gadget. This one actually doesn't have the ability to stop spells or traps from being activated until the end of the damage step. Yeah, surprisingly not all. And if Red Gadget, he inflicts 500 points of damage if he attacks, gets 300 if green gets on the field. If yellow's on the field and he's destroyed, your opponent is taking 700 points of damage. So, yeah. Again, sorry about the lighting. I will make sure to do it in a better location next time. This is only my second ever review. So, moving on. Ancient Gear Beast. I'll just do that now. Ancient Gear Beast basically states that if he destroys a monster, whatever its abilities are, if it has any, are negated, and yeah, you can't opponent can't activate special trap until the end of the damage step. 2,000 attack points and defense points. Level 6 Earth. Yeah, level 6 on Earth for the other guy too. And part of the Ancient Gear series. So yeah. Moving on. This is going into the realm of Seto Kaiba, if you can catch my drift. Yeah, I use purple sleeves, by the way. Yeah, so is X-Head Cannon. If you don't know who X-Head Cannon is, or who Seto Kaiba is, go watch the anime. That's all I'm gonna say to that. You'll learn a lot. This didn't appear until Duelist City. So when episode 50 starts in the anime, that's around the time that Seto Kaiba gets some new and better cards, and this is one of them. 1,800 attack points, 1,500 defense, machine, normal, level 4, light, not much else to say. Moving on. 2 copies of Ancient Gear Knight. Now, this is a Gemini monster. Gemini monsters, you have to resummon them for them to gain an effect, or else they're treated as normal monsters. His effect monster ability, when he gets it after being resummoned, you basically just say, I resummon this monster, and pick it up and go and place it on the field. Pretty much he gains the staple of the Ancient Gears, which is opponent can't activate spells or traps until the end phase. Yeah. And I do believe this is yeah, I believe this effect is permanent. I'm not sure on that. Check the ruling for this guy. Moving on, because I'm trying to keep this video less than my last one. Next up is Road Synchron. Light, level 4, machine, tuner. 1,600 attack points, 800 defense points. When he's not used for Road Warrior, he loses 200 attack, 2 stars, so he basically becomes level 2. But he regains 1. But if you use his effect after he attacks, he gains 1 star until end of turn. So pretty much you'll basically have a level 3. Well, actually, he'll go up to level 5. Yeah, you'll have a level 3 tuner during main phase 2 synchro summon. So instead of going from having 2, and you have to have a 6-star monster, you can have a 3-star monster and a 6-star monster for reasons I will show you after. Next comes 2 other staple cards for that go along with X-Head Cannon, 2 Union monsters. The first one is Y Dragon Head. 1,500 attack points, 1,600 defense points. I don't know how much I can zoom in with this. Pretty much he is a Union monster. If you can somehow read that, good for you. If not, look him up, level 4, light. I'll show you why he's, or I'll show you what him, X-Head Cannon, and this monster, Z Metal Tank. Same thing, except for he has 1,500 attack and 1,300 defense, so 300 defense less than this thing. Union monster, look up its effect, because I don't feel like reading it, because I'm trying to keep this as short as possible. You'll see why he's a fusion monster. And if my video does run longer than my last one, I'm sorry. I will try to speed up my videos, but they're probably going to be pretty lengthy. So forgive me on that one. Next is, I'm moving on. So next is Ancient Gear Engineer. Ancient Gear Engineer. Again, the staple, can't activate spells or traps till the end of the phase, except this one gets to destroy them when he attacks. So let's say your opponent has the Seal of Orichalcos, and you've already burnt through the. So you have you've already used Mystical Space Typhoon on it, so it's already gone through its shielding of non-destruction. You can attack with this thing and instantly blow it up. You can basically, this card, if you're trying to get rid of Seal of Orichalcos, Dust Tornado, Mystical Space Typhoon, Twister, Double Cyclone. You can burn through its shielding ability to protect itself, and then fully destroy it with this thing, or any other card he has, or any other spell track card he has on the field. Your opponent has on the field. So, moving on. Gen X Controller, level 3 Dark Tuner Machine, 1400 attack. Oh, this thing has 1500. The one before it has 1500 attack and defense. Sorry, in level 5. Level 3, so 1400 attack, 1200 defense. Normal, nothing special about it, except for the fact that it's a normal tuner. But well, yeah. Moving on. Ancient Gear Soldier. All it has is its staple effect, is the staple for the Ancient Gears. Can't activate spells or trap. It's an Earth type, level 4, machine effect, 1300 attack and defense points. Yeah. Moving on. Next, I run 3 copies of Top Runner, level 4 Wind Machine Effect Wind Tuner Monster, 1100 attack. Sorry about my hand there. 800 defense, and gives all face-up synchro monsters 600 extra attack points. That's why I run 3, so I at least have one of them on the field, while the other 2 are used for synchro summoning. Yeah, nothing else special about him. Next, final monster in the deck. Ancient Gear Cannon, level 2 Earth Effect Monster, 500 attack and defense points. Oh, its attack points is what you take in damage after you tribute it, and it cannot prevent its negation ability from spells or traps, because yeah, it's basically just a sacrificial card to inflict an early 500 point game or a finishing 500 point. Moving on. Just so you know, I've gone through them. I'm going to be putting them up here. Up right there. So, spell cards. For my first 2 field spells. Gear Town. Gear Town, you can pretty much summon a level 5 or a level 6 with no sacrifices, and a level 8 with 1 sacrifice. So 2 copies of that. 1 copy of Gaia Power. When Gear Town is destroyed, you can special summon an Ancient Gear monster from your deck, except for Ancient Gear Golem, because it can't be special summoned. Yeah. Gaia Power increases all Earth type monsters by 500 points and decreases their attack points by 400. That's all it does. Next up, 2 copies of Ancient Gear Castle, gives 300 attack points, and every time a monster is normal summoned or set, it gains one gear counter. Pretty much if you have no other cards on the field except for it, and you have 2 counters on it, you can sacrifice it to summon Ancient Gear Golem or Gajilatron Dragon. Or if you have 1 counter, you can summon Beast or Chimera or Engineer. So yeah. Next is 1 copy of Machine Assembly Lab. 200 attack points to all machine-type monsters. This thing only affects Ancient Gears for the power increase. This card, when a machine-type monster, any machine, is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, actually, just... just destroyed. This thing gains 2 junk counters. You can send this card to the graveyard and special summon from the graveyard. Yeah, from the graveyard. Any machine type monster whose level is less or equal to the counters on here. So pretty much, so you had 8 counters, Gajillatron Dragon. 6 counters, Chimera or Beast. 5 counters, Engineer, or any other 5-star monster. So that's machine. So, alright, moving on. Next is Wonder Bubble from the new Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc series. The new series with the pendulum monsters. Discard any number of cards from your hand. This thing gets a bubble counter for each card sent. So you can pretty much send enough cards to 300 points are lost for each counter. So you can pretty much make your opponent lose 3,000 or more. And then kill it with the weakest monster in your deck. Moving on. Ancient Gear Workshop. Think Gravekeeper Steel. Yeah, pretty much Gravekeeper Steel, except for the Ancient Gears and only one monster, or Monster Reincarnation, except without the discard effect. Yeah. Moving on. Card of Sanctity. Everybody should know what this its anime effect. Everyone draws until they have 6. Normal effect is banish all cards that you control and in your hand, maximum of 1 of each. Wrap your head around that. And then draw until you have 2. If you're in a tournament, always ask if you can use its anime effect to the judge, the tournament host, and the player you're fighting and your opponent. I am sure that they would say yes to the anime effect of this, because no one likes its other effect. It's stupid. They need to Konami needs to reissue this card and put its anime effect in place, and put this on the and make this card only limited to 1 copy, because that would be extremely smart on Konami's part. And I don't care if you disagree with me on that. I think it's a good idea. So, moving on. Polymerization. If you do not know what this card does, or you do not know what this card is, it fuses 2 monsters. It fuses 2 monsters. You know, no, I'm not even gonna bother explaining it. Go to the fucking anime. Go to the anime and look and watch what this card does. If you don't know. If you don't know what this card is, stop playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Or ask somebody, or go watch the damn anime. Hell, even the manga will explain this. Next card. This card fuses 2 machine-type monsters. Fusing! Fusing! These are 2 machine-type monsters together. Except for it has 2 things. One, and it doubles the attack points of whatever fusion monster you have. So say you have Cyber Dragon out in the field, its attack points will go from 4,000 to 8,000. Here's the side effect of it though. You take that 4,000. Oh, and the power increase is permanent. So yeah, make sure when you summon a machine monster using this card, that it has attack points that you can easily take without ever risking it. So yeah. And moving on to the final spell card in my deck. Ancient Gear Tank increases Ancient Gear monsters by 600 points, and only Ancient Gears. If it's destroyed, your opponent takes 600 points of damage. That's it for that. On to the trap cards. And yeah, my video is going to be really long, sorry. Rare Metal Morph. Increases monsters' attack points by 500, and once per turn can negate a spell card that targets it. When the selected monster is removed from the field, destroy this card. 1 copy of that. 7 Tools of the Bandit. To negate any trap card from activating, pay 1,000. That's pretty much its effect. It's a quick play too, so you can activate it whenever you want. 2 copies of Magic Jammer. Discard a card from your hand, prevent a spell card from activating. Simple. Defense Draw. if you're about to take damage, or a monster you have in attack mode is destroyed, and again you're about to take damage from either direct attack or monster destruction, it even works for piercing. You can reduce it down to 0 and draw 1 card. Yeah. Trap hole. Pretty much if a monster is normal summoned, not special summoned, you can instantly destroy it, as long as it has 1,000 attack points or more. So if it has 1,000 attack point, if it has less than 1,000, this card has no effect. Over 1,000 and non-special summon, it can instantly wipe it out. Dust Tornado. Destroy 1 spell or trap card on the field. Doesn't even matter if it's face up. But you also have to set a spell or trap card from hand. So, again, I've already explained what Ancient Gear or Engineer's effect. This card, Raigeki Break. Discard 1 card, destroy anything on the field. In the back row, in the front row, in the field spell zone, a pendulum. Yeah. Instantly destroys an attacking monster, unless it's unaffected by trap cards. Or you're running an Ancient Gear deck. Or you have a random Ancient Gear in your deck, Sakurutsu Armor. Yeah. Then Draining Shield. Stop 1 monster's attack unless you have an Ancient Gear or you're running an Ancient Gear deck like I am. And then absorb whatever that monster's attack was. So say you were attacked by Red Dragon Archfiend. Activate this. Your opponent, you gain the 3,000, and Archfiend's attack is stopped. Simple. Alright, on to the side deck. Now, I'm going to be going from Xyz to Synchros to Fusions, so... Yeah. Number 42, Galaxy Tomahawk. Light. Rank 7, 0 attack points, 3,000 defense points, so always actually summon this thing in defense mode. Its ability, you can detach all of the units that you use to summon this damn thing. And then summon 2 Battle Edge tokens. Machine, Wind, level 6. 2,000 attack, 0 defense. That's possible. You can summon as many as possible. So say you summon this thing and you have 4 open spots, you get 4 of these tokens that can but destroy them during the end phase of the turn. Also, your opponent takes no battle damage from the turn it's summoned. So, yeah. Next is 2 copies of Power Tool Dragon, level 7 Synchro. It's pretty much just used to summon this thing. It pretty much just shuffles a 3 equip cards. Search for 3 equip cards from the deck during once per turn during the main phase. You obviously know anyone who doesn't know how to summon a Synchro monster. You use a tuner and then a monster to equal whatever the Synchro's level is. 2,300 attack points, 2,500 defense points. This thing would be better in defense mode, but its attack is okay because of its ability. You pretty much just pick one of the 3 field spells that you choose into your hand, and then send the remaining back to your deck, and obviously shuffle the deck. And if this card were to be destroyed, destroy whatever equip cards equipped to it. 2 copies. To summon Tomahawk. Black Rose Dragon. Fire attribute, level 7, 2,400 attack, 1,800 defense. If it's summoned, it's pretty much nuke the field. Yeah, nuke the field, and by removing 1 plant type monster, change 1 monster to a face-up attack and reduce its attack points to 0, and yeah. Okay. Next is a level 8 Dark Synchro Machine Monster, 2,400 attack points, 1,600 defense points. Ally of Justice Light Gazer. Send a video if I pronounce it wrong. It gains 200 attack points for each light monster in the graveyard. I put it in there just to have, just in case I face a light deck. Next is Stardust Dragon. If you don't know what Stardust Dragon is, research, ask, or go watch 5Ds. Level 8, light. It's also from the Gold series. I actually bought this card. 2,500 attack, 2,000 defense points. Ability, and you all know how Synchros works, I'm not explaining it again. If a card is about to be destroyed by a card effect, you can tribute him, negate that card, destroy it, and this guy returns at the end of the turn. And you can activate this ability, well, obviously once per turn. It can be done either on your opponent's turn or your turn. Red Dragon Archfiend. I already explained that this thing has 3,000 attack points. It has 2,000 defense points. It's a dark level 8 Dragon Synchro. No, Dragon Synchro. When this thing attacks, if it attacks, destroy all defense position monsters. If it attacks a defense position monster, doesn't matter if they're face down or face up, they're instantly blown up. If this is the only card attacker, and say you had him and Light Gazer out, this card would be destroyed as well, and he's unaffected by his own effect. Now, the level 3 and 6 thing I talked about earlier in the video. This is why Cloud Castle. It needs it's a level 9 Wind Machine Synchro, 0 attack, 3,000 attack. When this card is summoned, target one level 9 monster in the graveyard and special summon it. I don't run one. And level 8 or lower monsters cannot attack the turn they're normal summoned or special summoned. So it's in summon and defense mode. Moving on. XYZ Dragon Cannon. Enough said. I don't think I need to go any further into this because everybody knows what this damn card is. Everybody. So, not going over it. If you want me to quickly go over it, Kaiba used it to destroy Toon World. Has 2,800 attack points, 2,600 defense points. It's level 8 and it's light. It's a machine of fusion effect monster. Yeah, that's the brief summary of it. And finally, one of the most powerful cards in the deck, Ultimate Ancient Gear Golem. Think Ancient Gear Golem, but with 4,400 attack points and 34 defense points, and with the additional ability, if this thing is destroyed, you can summon an Ancient Gear Golem used in its fusion summoning. Which, yes, that's why Ancient Gear Golem is a staple in the deck, because it's for this thing. Level 8 or Earth type. Level fucking 10. Yeah. So, to any opponent that sees this thing, and if I use Power Bond on this, this thing goes up to 88 if you use Power Bond, and all I have to say to opponent is, good luck killing this thing. Because if I get this thing out second turn, and I power it up with whatever if I have all the power-ups I need for this thing, you could pretty much, the opponent can pretty much kiss their life points goodbye. So that is my Ancient Gear deck. Sorry about the extremely long video, but that tends to happen with these kind of decks. The Vanguard one will be shorter. So, to say goodbye, may the Force be with you, and have a good day. Bye.